Hey, Baylor fans, this is your call to gear up with Harley-Davidson of Waco. Whether you're hitting the open road or tailgating at McLean Stadium, we've got the ride to match your Bear pride. Check out our wide selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, visit our service department, or shop all the latest gear and accessories to show off your Baylor spirit and Harley pride. Visit us today and find your freedom on two wheels. Harley-Davidson of Waco, where Baylor fans never ride alone. Visit in-store or at hdwaco.com. Sic Em Bears.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's Sic Em Podcast, presented by Harley-Davidson of Waco. We're glad you're with us this week. Let's check in on Baylor football as we welcome in Baylor football's general manager, Aaron Hunt. Welcome to you.
Hey, appreciate you having me here, man.
Thanks for being here. We're going to find out what that exactly means, general manager, because it is new. These are changing times in college athletics, and man, you're right in the middle of it, right at the forefront of the changes.
Oh, absolutely. You know, with everything going on with the revenue share and everything like that, I guess now pretty much the four major conferences are trying to figure out ways to pretty much manage the salary cap or the money that's going around. So that's what's going on. I think I'm pretty excited about the position just because I know, it's just now starting.
Right.
So
right.
It's like,
that's
so
it.
It's kind of cutting edge and learning as we go, but I'm enjoying it every step of it.
I think you're the right man for the job. So when you talk about, NIL and you mentioned salary cap, a number that, that's a phrase we didn't used to use with college athletics.
Not at all.
But we do these days, don't we?
Oh, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Man. It's hard to imagine that colleges now having a salary cap. Right. But hey, it is what it is, man. So we just adapting to it, and we've been working on it for a while. And I feel like the guys, all the guys that's behind me, and the guys that's been working on it before, I think we'll be fine. I think it's great.
I think about that, and I think about where you would have been, what your salary would have been coming out of Denison High School, going to Texas Tech. Do you think about that?
I do often.
Do you?
Yeah. Because, we play for fun. You know what I mean?
Right,
now
right.
It's like you don't have a conversation now without somebody bringing up money, which is crazy now.
Yeah.
It's just a totally different world. So I think it's awesome that these guys are getting paid.
Right.
I just think that now we're starting to get a grasp on it, and we're trying to control it as much as we can.
Sure. With that House settlement a few weeks ago, it does put some limits, kind of puts the guardrails up, doesn't it? That
Absolutely.
We've been looking for.
I'm so excited about the House settlement.
Really?
It's been a Wild West,
Right.
It's just like whatever can happen has been happening, right? So now it's at least some kind of restrictions going on. So it just makes it easier for people in my position to actually be able to game plan now, right? Because before it was more like, you're just going on a whim. You just don't know. There's no guidelines, no rules, right? But now at least you have to be structured, and everybody just can't be like, you just can't throw money at everybody, right? Without your program collapsing.
Yeah.
You have to be more responsible about your payments now.
So that being said, we've got the guardrails in place now. What's it been like the last couple of years? I know you weren't in this position,
Right.
but it has been that wild, wild west the last couple of years, hasn't it?
And think about it, like Baylor, we wasn't as much as NIL as everybody else at first, and we just jumped in it like in the fire, right? So it was crazy. You see teams, and I don't want to mention names, but teams just being like they don't like money. They don't care about money. Just
They're
throwing money.
Yeah,
just throwing money away.
Right.
And it was just like every kid has their own worth. So, and I get it. Everybody needs to get paid a certain way, but like there has to be a way to kind of control and I'm just happy. I'm happy that this passed, man, because would you normally pay this much for a third string running back? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You think about it in the NFL, and this is how the NFL and college is different, right?
Yeah.
NFL, the running back is almost like an undervalued position, But in college, you're gonna. If you got a good running back, he's gonna leave if you don't pay him, And I just think those kind of differences are huge right now in between NFL and college. But I'm enjoying every step of it. I'm telling you that right now.
So you're really, you and Coach Randa and the staff, you're really establishing this position this year, the GM position here at Baylor. Is it a work in progress, or do you feel like, y'all got a really good handle on what that position entails?
Right now, it's pretty good. We pretty much have it all set in stone,
Gotcha.
right?
Uh-huh.
We're just, with the house settlement, it was just so much learning on the go, because it was like being prepared for anything, right? So now we can go back to, okay, we actually have a process and everything that we go through now, and we can live through those standards now. So I'm excited about that too.
Very good. Yeah. So, again, going back, coming out of Denison High School, great
Denison.
career, going to Texas Tech. Who knows what your amount would have been, because, man, you were a great player out of high school and had a great career at Texas Tech. I'm sure you remember those days pretty fondly.
I do.
Uh-huh.
I was a decent player.
Oh, come on now.
I was a decent player.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I was just thinking, like, for somebody that would have been in my position, like my maybe sophomore and junior year, it would have been
a lot of money,
well into the six figures.
Yeah, exactly. Great career there. In high school, did you win a state championship?
So we didn't win.
Oh, you got to the state championship.
Yeah, man. It's a sore subject.
I'm
I appreciate you bringing that up, man.
I'm sorry I brought it up. 84?
No, well, we did win a state championship in 1984.
Denison did.
Denison did, yes. But I actually went to the state championship game 3 years in a row.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. But we never capitalized.
I'm really sorry I brought that up.
Yeah, it's tough, man. You did that to me. That's crazy. That's actually a low blow.
We can turn the subject pretty quick.
I had a buddy that that used to call it, because if you know anything about football, you heard about the Buffalo Bills.
Oh yeah.
So I had a buddy who's still a close friend of mine who went to Duncanville. But they were actually decent. They actually won the year after we won, but he called us the Buffalo. He used to call me, "Hey,
Buffalo.
Hey, Buffalo, come over here." I was so mad.
Oh my
But
gosh.
as time go on, I laugh about it, but it's still sore to me. So
Right.
I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay, so here's the good thing about that. You were on some really good teams.
Yeah.
I mean, that played for state championships 3 years in a row.
It's kind of crazy.
That's the good.
Yeah.
That's the good side.
That's
of
the
that.
awesome thing.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
You go to Texas Tech, again, a great career. What's the number? 34 career sacks. Tech career leader in sacks, and you have been the Big 12 leader up until this year or last year?
Still am. We're tied. Yeah,
right,
tied.
Will McDonald, from Iowa State. So
Yes.
co-leader in career sacks. That's impressive, man.
I think I'm no shade. I don't want to put any shade towards Will McDonald, but he had 2 extra years to get those sacks.
Oh, fair enough.
I will say that.
Very fair.
No. But yeah, I feel like if you talk to Coach Randa, he would say I should have had more. But I felt like I did pretty good in college. I was pretty decent. Yeah.
Great All-America career, All Big 12 career, Big 12 sacks leader. That's tremendous, and it has led to a spot in the Texas Tech Hall of Fame, just selected, and you'll be inducted this November. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. I was pretty excited about that, no lie, man.
That's
just because
huge.
I honestly never thought it would happen.
Really?
I didn't think it was going to happen. And people will say, why, what do you think? But I just never thought it was going to happen. So I'm super excited about it, man. It's going to be a good weekend.
I would say, what took them so long?
Yeah.
And isn't it nice that they planned the induction around the Baylor football schedule?
I don't know if they did that, but it seemed like they
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
November,
I appreciate it.
yeah, November 7th and 8th.
Bye week. So,
Which is a bye week for Baylor, so you'll be able to be there.
Yes, sir.
That's cool. Really happy for you.
Thank you.
Great career. I also noticed your senior year, your senior year, against Baylor. Do you remember playing Baylor your senior year?
I do.
Pretty good game.
I did pretty good.
3 of those 34 sacks. 3 in one game. 8 tackles.
Yes. How did you find it?
It's there. What I'll do is I'll go back and try to find our audio from that call.
Oh.
And see if we treated you right from
yeah,
a Baylor
I know,
perspective.
Right? Yeah. I'm sure you didn't.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure we did.
When I first got here, the guys in the room, everybody that came in the room, we had to show it didn't matter how far you played, but you had to show somewhat of a highlight, and I would never do that. I would never do it.
Yeah.
So they end up finding a guy that used to be here and working video, ended up finding the game.
That game?
Yeah. And they showed it. And I forgot the game, but I remember like certain people and stuff like that, but I forgot the game.
Right.
And it was funny to see myself back then, man, because I was super critical on my own self, man. It's like, what am I doing? But I actually had a decent game, but I felt like I was playing terrible watching it. Like,
really?
What am I doing? Yeah.
You had a great game. And a great career. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
So, and congratulations on the Hall of Fame.
I appreciate it.
That's a great honor for you. Yeah. What about coming out of Tech? You went, played in the pros, drafted by the Broncos, played in the pros, NFL, Canada for 10 years. What was that experience like for you?
It's pretty cool, man. Just getting drafted, I would say, is amazing because, only 1% of people get to do that. Then, so I was in the NFL. I was more like a travel guy. I was a journeyman, so I was on 3 different teams.
Okay.
I was on Denver twice. That was my first and my last stop. You know, but and then I was just gonna go jump straight into coaching, right? But my brother was in Canada already, so he was like, "Man, why don't you just come up here and play with me?" So I was like, "All right, let's go."
Nice.
So what happened is that my brother played in Saskatchewan.
Okay.
So I wanted to be a Rough Rider.
Right.
In Canada, they do a thing where they like have your rights. So I couldn't go to Saskatchewan. So I tried to do all these things to try to go to Saskatchewan, but I couldn't. So I ended up having to go to Vancouver. The team is called BC Lions, and I was gonna play 1 year and then go play with my brother for the next year, and then I was gonna stop. What ended up happening is I ended up loving it in Vancouver, right? So
really?
I was like, hey, you need to come here, bro. Like he's older than me, so I was like, man, you need to come to Vancouver and just play with us. You know what I mean? I ended up winning the Super Bowl there my first year, so I was like, oh, I'm stuck here now. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So it's like, it was pretty. It was. I felt like Canada is like a really, really cool experience. I'm so happy I did that.
That's great. And did you and Reggie play against each other
All
much?
the time, yeah.
Did you? Pretty regularly?
Yeah, we would play probably three times a year.
Yeah. Oh, 3 times a year. That's
I would
much.
say, yeah. We used to whoop them.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
If he sees this, he's going to be so mad.
That's right. Let me know his response when he sees
I
this.
will do.
But that's pretty cool to extend your playing career, for that long, 10 years after college.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't expect to. I was just like, but as time went on, I was just enjoying it, you know. So it ended up lasting way longer than it needed to, probably.
Right.
But I enjoyed it the whole time, so it's a good time.
You mentioned coaching. Was that in the back of your mind, always something that you wanted to get into once you finished playing?
Absolutely. I thought I would always end up being a coach sooner or later. But once I got into the position I was in when I got to Baylor, I was like, it was just a totally different part of the football. I was always exiting those guys, so that was kind of easy to me.
Right.
So I knew, defensive line, linebackers, and safety, right? So all of that was easy.
Right.
But when I got to personnel and trying to figure out the guys and figure out, like, building a roster kind of things like that, it was so intriguing, right? So I was like, man, I love this. I actually love that.
Nice.
And I felt like I was learning so much, too. So that's why I kind of stayed on this side.
Well, you're very good at it, obviously, and then assumed the role of general manager this year, which is a step up from the player personnel. What was the first contact between Coach Randa and you? How'd you get here?
So me and Coach Randa go way back, right? He was actually my defensive end coach
at
college.
Tech. Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. He was my defense. He was a GA at the time.
Great connection.
Yeah. So we go way back. You know what I mean? And we kind of kept in contact throughout the years. It was Spotty, of course, and I was in Canada at this time, and he called me one day, and I was like, "What's up, Coach?" I was surprised to hear from him, and he called to make a joke about me because they made an article about me being overweight kind of deal.
Oh, gosh.
And he was having a ball about
Oh, really?
it. So we just, I mean, we both laughed a ton about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was good times, man.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Some people look at Coach Randa and don't really know him, and they think, "What? He called you to make a joke?"
Oh man, yeah.
He's a funny guy.
He really
he
is.
loves to laugh too, doesn't he? Right in the right situation.
Oh yeah.
I can see him cracking on you with that.
Oh yeah, fast too. He does it all the time. People don't realize that because they just see that, and I understand that, but if they get to meet him, they'll realize he has a really funny sense of humor. And he laughs. And, like we laugh normal, he'll laugh loud.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
exactly.
yeah. So I hope everybody gets to experience that just so they'll see that other side of him.
That's what I was going to say. I wish everybody could see that,
right.
With him.
Absolutely.
Because that's fun. You obviously have. So were you retired, or you said you were still playing? Were you about to retire from playing when he called you, or... Did he say, "I've got a job for you," and that kind of help make your decision, or what was that like?
No, they were going to do a camp.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to talk at one of the camps.
Okay.
It was when he was at Hawaii, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So, that's how
it
that
was before
conversation
Baylor.
started. Yeah, it was way before Baylor. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was way before a lot of things he did, Wisconsin and all that.
Yeah.
But we kept in contact, from time to time while he was all out.
Isn't it interesting, the connections that you make in football and coaching, and you never know the twists and turns, I mean, look at him being here and you being here at Baylor.
Right. It's random.
Yeah.
I mean, but
right.
You can't it would be hard to find somebody that you didn't know, that doesn't know somebody from your past.
Exactly.
Which is crazy, man.
Yeah.
So you have to, with that being said, you always have to be careful what goes on because, people know. They'll know you from a long time ago, or they'll know a story about you from a long time ago, right? So some of those stories you can't live down, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm still hearing some of those stories.
There's some stories out there.
Oh, man, it's hilarious, though.
So after playing, you went back to Denison. Tell me about, what was it called, the 306 Development Center?
Yeah, so it is my nonprofit organization, right? So what I did... it's kind of crazy. It's sad at the same time. One of our really good football players from Denison, he was going to college and didn't make it because he ended up getting shot and killed. So I was like, man, I felt like my hometown was going in a bad place, right? So I was like, I got to do something. I always felt like I needed to do something anyway, but that just kind of pushed the needle. And that made me start we were sitting, it was me and my brother and a couple of my cousins, and we sat down and was like, man, what can we do, kind of deal. Mm-hmm. So that's when I started it. Yeah, it was.
How about that?
And then after that, it started with just football, then we had one team, right? But then it grew from football to basketball to track. That's what we do, all of that, yeah. And I'm pretty excited on how, it's pretty cool, honestly, to see it grow and see it's like a machine now. So it's like, it's really cool.
Yeah, and still going.
Still going.
Nice, very good. So similar to that, we lost recently a young defensive lineman, Alex Foster. I know that hit you really hard.
It did. I was really close with Alex, and his family as well, just because during the recruiting process we were really close, so that kept along this whole year, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
There's no other words, really. It's terrible, man. And it's random, and it's hard to talk about just because his mom was just like, he was so excited. He gave her the countdown. He said, I just got 6 days left, Mama, then I'm gone, And he was ready to come back,
Yeah.
You can only stay home there for so long. Mm-hmm. He was ready to come back, and I just wish he would have left earlier.
Ugh. Really sad. Really, again, our condolences and sympathy to his family. But I know that hit you and hit the whole team really hard.
Because, school just left, so it's not like we were away from each other for a while, you know what I mean? And then to get that call, and it was super early, and just like, I didn't think it was real. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, who? What? And then it was him, and I was like, no way. Because he really was a good kid. Everybody has, flaws. I'm not saying he's perfect whatsoever, but he was a really good kid.
Man.
Really good kid, man.
Well, prayers for his family for sure.
Absolutely.
One other thing I meant to mention, we were talking about Texas Tech. So your degree is in?
Broadcast communications.
Yes, broadcast communications. So you told me once a few years ago, you said something like, hey, communications, if I can ever do anything, if we can work together. And I said, absolutely, we're going to make that happen.
That,
yeah.
I remember
so just know that I'm always on the lookout for something for us to do together, broadcasting, okay?
I appreciate it, man.
With or without me, something for you.
No, man. I always thought, like, this is like, I wanted to be a commentator, right? And I just thought that's like the best job in the world, right? So I was like, because nothing like being able to watch a game and just talk about it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, it's so much work involved in it. But it's just when it comes down to it, you're watching the sport and you're talking about it. And I just love that, man. So I told you, I think I told you I envy you or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I was happy about it, man. It's pretty cool, man.
Well, I've got the greatest job in the world. You
Absolutely.
know, I really do.
Yeah.
And I know that, but we're gonna find a spot.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something together, broadcasting sometime, okay?
All right. I'm here. I'm here for it now.
That'd be great. Tell us about your wife, Angela, and your family. You got three kids.
Yeah, my wife's Angela. She's I call her Angie, of course, but she's good. She's good. She's I feel bad for her because she has a lot to do. I got 3 kids, so it's like she does everything, and I try to make it like she doesn't, just so she won't be so hard on me. But maybe cut that. But, no.
There's chuckles in the back of the room after that. Yeah.
But she does a lot, man, and I appreciate her so much. So I thank God for her and my kids.
How old?
Okay, so I got one that just turned 14, so he'll be in high school this year, which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy to think, man.
Football player.
He plays football and he plays basketball.
Okay,
he does everything really. But
is this Aaron?
Yeah, his name is Aaron, but I call him Sonny.
Okay.
Because it was hard for me to call him my name. I don't know why. So I was like,
see that.
So he was my son, so I was like Sonny, and then that kind of took off. So everybody calls him Sonny now. Yeah. So he'll be a midway this year.
Nice.
And it was kind of crazy, man. He's 14. I got another daughter that's 10, and my son is 7.
All right.
Yeah. Ashton is 7. Okay. Addison is 10.
All right.
Yeah. And Addison is going to be probably, I don't know what she's going to be, but she's going to be great because she is perfect almost, right?
Ooh, love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
But my youngest son will be a better athlete than my oldest son, and I keep telling him that, but he won't. He won't listen to that.
At age 7.
I know, right? Yeah.
Well, that's terrific. You have a great family, and we're so glad you're a part of Baylor and Baylor athletics and Baylor football. You fit right in with that GM role, which is, again, gosh, in these changing times in college athletics and college football especially, I mean, that GM role, that is really, really a key role.
Absolutely. It's just necessary right now, especially the way college football is, so I'm just happy to have it, and we're going to make great things happen with it.
Absolutely. Glad you're part of it. Thanks for visiting with us. We appreciate you having you being on the Sic Em Podcast with us.
I appreciate you having me, man. I honestly had a good time.
Very good.
I appreciate it.
Very good. You did a great job, and we're going to look for some broadcasting opportunities.
Okay.
Not that the GM role doesn't have you
I know,
tied
right?
up just a little bit. You don't have much extra time. That's great. Aaron Hunt is with us. He's the GM for Baylor Football. He's our guest on the Sic Em Podcast, presented by Harley-Davidson of Waco.